Hello learners, welcome in today's discussion. We want today to discuss on matrices. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you are not in the YouTube, maybe you want to find me more on YouTube, find me by the name Mr.M.PATRICK. As I promise, I'll make sure I simplify mathematics and accounts. So just subscribe and we continue learning together. Now today let's discuss on matrix, the various form of matrix. We have a 2x2 matrix, we have a 3x3 matrix, we have a 1x4 matrix, but today I will try and start with the 2x2 matrix. 2x2 matrix, 2x2 matrix, 2x2 matrix. Today we will discuss 2x2 matrix. 2x2 matrix. Good. Now, learners, you'll agree with me that when we say 2x2 matrix, we simply means our matrix has got 2 rows and it has got 2 columns. It has got 2 rows and it has got 2 columns. It has got 2 rows and it has got 2 columns. It has got 2 rows and it has got 2 columns. Now, you see here, when I say a row, it is AB, that stands for the row, CD stands for the row. Then we have the column, it has also the 2 columns, AC, BD. So that is the columns. It has got 2 rows and 2 columns. 2 rows and 2 columns. Good. 2 rows and 2 columns. Good. Now, learners, you'll agree with me now to say, if we know that is the one type of matrix, of one example of matrix, now we want to learn how to determine a determinant and an inverse of the matrix. Determinant and inverse of the matrix. Now, to get the determinant of this matrix or the inverse for this matrix, 2x2 matrix, one, I'll go by step and just hang on my lips or follow the steps I'm going to give out. And then you'll not see it being a problem. Good. In 2x2 matrix, to find first, let us find determinant. To find determinant, one, here, now we are getting determinant of 2x2 matrix. I'll use this one first example, and then we get an example and get a solution to the same. So to get determinant, you'll multiply this one, AD, I call that one minor diagonal. This one I always prefer call it minor diagonal. That one, minor diagonal, AD, you minus BC. You minus BC. BC, I call it, this one you can refer to it minor diagonal. Minor diagonal. Then this one, BC, this one is a major diagonal. This one is a major diagonal. Major diagonal. And this one is a minor diagonal, which is CD. CD. So to get the determinant, you'll multiply AD minus CD. So in this case, you'll either have here 1, 2. In case you have values here, now you just do what we have done. Good. That is the determinant. Good. That is the determinant. That is the determinant. Another thing for us to get, that is 1, to get the determinant. 2, we have to learn how to get something called adjoint. 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 Why do we get adjoint? Because to get adjoint, we have to get the adjoint because to get an inverse, you get the determinant, you multiply by the adjoint for you to get the inverse of the matrix. Let's say this is our matrix B. This is our type of matrix B. Matrix B. Good. So, let us get now the adjoint. Let us get the adjoint. To get the adjoint, what you'll do, now we have the adjoint B. You want to get the adjoint of B. Adjoint of matrix B, it simply means it will be, let us rewrite our matrix. If we have this AB, AD, then here we have BC. So the adjoint is equals to, this one, the major diagonal, you swipe the values. You will swipe the values. The D will come here and then A will come here. Let us do it direct. So it will be D here, then A there. Good. That is the first. The major diagonal, you swipe the values. In case you will see, when you are going to do the example, if you have values here, you will swipe them. You will swipe the values. Good. That is the major diagonal. On the minor diagonal now, it is this one here. The minor diagonal is this one here. The BC, what do you do to the values, or the unknown values that we are using, the unknown we are using here? You multiply with a negative, or you do what? You negate. Let me use that term, you negate. Negating means you multiply this value here with negative, also this one you multiply with a negative. Now C multiply with a negative, it will be negative C, then this one will be negative B, negative C, negative B. So that is the adjoint. So just in case you get values where you have maybe, let's say, a negative here, negative C. Let's say we could be having here negative C. When you multiply with a negative multiply by a negative, you realize you are getting what? A positive. You'll just get a positive. So in that case, what do you mean? Now the adjoint, you write there very well. Adjoint of B, adjoint of matrix B, equals to D negative C negative B A. Good. So you see, that is now the adjoint. Good. That is now the adjoint. Now, what about now the inverse? The inverse, you can write it this way. The inverse, for this case, learners, we normally say to get an inverse of any matrix is 1 over the determinant. You multiply by the adjoint of that matrix. Good. The adjoint of that matrix. So for this case, like for the example you are using, it will be 1, you divide by AD minus CD. Because AD minus CD, you'll get the determinant. Then we are going to multiply by our adjoint. Our adjoint for this matrix was what? The adjoint of this matrix was D negative B, then negative C, then A here. So if you do this, learners, I assure you, you are going to get what? You are going to get your inverse. You can put it that way. You're going to get your inverse. Good. So that is how it is done, just step by step. First, you'll get the determinant. Second, you'll get the adjoint. Third, you'll get now the inverse. Good. Now, learners, you'll allow me now to do one example. I want to do one example so that we can continue understanding this concept. More. Good. So now we have this. Now let us put it in practice. Now, let us put it in practice. Good. Now, we'll go ahead now to do an example or a question. So our question will be question number one. We are being told find the inverse. Find the inverse find the inverse of matrix B, that is our matrix B, that is we have here 2, we have 4, then you have a negative 7, then you have 3. Good. 3. So you see, that is our matrix. That is our matrix. We have been told to find the inverse. The examiner knows very well that there's no way you'll get the inverse of the matrix without determining the adjoint, without determining also the determinant. So the first step for this case, we'll have to determine the determinant. Let us determine the determinant. And from our previous discussion, first we'll have to determine the determinant. And we said very well, determinant, we are going to multiply 2 by 3 minus the major diagonal, you minus the minor diagonal. Good. So the determinant for this case will be what? The determinant will be 2, you multiply by 3, you minus 4, you multiply by negative 7. Good. The major diagonal, which is 2 and 3, minus the minor diagonal. Good. So, what will be now the answer? Here, it will be now 6, you minus, in bracket, 6 minus 20, negative 28. Good. And if you can see here, we have minus here, and we have also a minus there. Minus, it becomes a minus, it becomes positive. So you'll add, it means our determinant for this case will be what? Our determinant will be 34. Our determinant will be 34. Good. Next step, we are going to determine the adjoint. So the second one, we are going to determine adjoint of matrix B. Adjoint of matrix B. Good. Adjoint, remember we said adjoint, we are going to swipe the values of the major diagonal. So our matrix B here, it is 2, 4 as negative 7, 3. Good. To get the adjoint of this, we swipe this one. The major diagonals, we swipe the values. So here, 3 will be here now, then 2 will be here. That is 1. That is on the, we are getting now the adjoint of this matrix. Then this one, the minor diagonal is this one, for 4 and negative 7. We do what we call, we conjugate, you multiply. You multiply with the negative. Negative, you multiply it here, also you multiply here. So here, negative 7, you multiply with a negative 1. You'll get what? Positive 7. Negative multiplied by negative, you get a positive. Then 4, you multiply with a negative, it will be negative 4. So I'll put here negative 4. Good. So at the end of the day, this becomes our adjoint. This will become our adjoint. Good. I think up to there we have seen how to get the adjoint. Good. Now, what next? Now, learners, we are going to determine now the inverse. Remember the question wanted us to do what? To find the inverse. And you remember very well, to find the inverse of matrix B is equals to 1 over determinant, you multiply by the adjoint. you multiply by the adjoint. And in this case, we have already the determinant and we have the adjoint. Now, what is the adjoint? The determinant. The determinant was 34. So it will be 1 over 34. 1 over 34. You multiply by the adjoint, which we have 3, negative 4, 7, 2. Good. So I will go ahead and multiply 1 over 34 multiplied by 3. Here it will be 3 over 34. 3 over 34. This one next, 1 over 34 multiplied by negative 4. It will be negative 4 over 34. 1 over 34 multiplied by 7 it will be 7 over 34. Then 1 over 34 multiplied by 2 it will be 2 over 34. Good. At the end of the day, we have now our inverse. Our inverse is here with us. You can go ahead, if it is simplifiable, you can simplify further. Like this one, you can say 2 goes here, 2 goes here, 17. 2 goes here, 1, 2 goes here, 17. That is. But even if you write this and say my inverse B is equals to 3 over 34, 7 over 34, negative 4 over 34, then 2 over 34. You have your mark. You have your mark. And you're good to go. So that is how we do a matrix. And that is how we determine the 2 by 2 matrix when we want to find the determinant, the inverse, and the adjoint. So that is a 2 by 2 matrix. Then we can also do another question in regard to the same that requires you to use matrix method. Requires you to use the matrix method. Then the matrix method itself, you use it to solve the values there. Good. So next session we realize I will come with that question where we are required to use the matrix method, whereby in a question we have been, if you come up, you realize we come by 2 by 2 matrix and we are required to find the values of x and y using the 2 by 2 matrix, and it's just the same thing. We determine first the determinant, we get the adjoint, get the inverse, and then we proceed. We proceed with it. Good. So if you are new to the channel, as I promised, just subscribe, because, or if you have any comment, just drop it in the comment section, so that when we meet in our general discussion, or when we meet in any class, or when I go through the comments, I can come and work on it. Next, I will come with that question. At the same time, I'll be working on the 3 by 3 matrix, which we need also to know how to find the determinant of 3 by 3 matrix and also the inverse of 3 by 3 matrix. For today, may God bless you wherever you are, and may God do